The M5 desktop revolution. What Apple is hiding? Imagine buying a desktop computer that completely crushes a machine twice its price. Apple just quietly launched a brand new budget MacBook, which finally fills out their entire M5 laptop lineup. From the incredibly light M5 MacBook Air all the way up to the powerhouse M5 Max MacBook Pro, the laptop family is now complete. But this leaves a massive question hanging in the air. What about the desktop computers? Everyone is looking at the laptops, but the real secret lies in what these laptops tell us about the upcoming Mac Studio and the M5 Mac Mini. By looking closely at the specs and details of the newly released laptops, we can actually map out exactly what Apple is planning for their desktop line. And let me tell you, the changes are massive. The very first thing we need to talk about is storage. For years, people have complained about Apple being stingy with their base storage options. But things are finally changing. Apple just upgraded the base storage on the new MacBook Air to start at 512 gigabytes. Even better, the new MacBook Pro now starts with a massive 1 terabyte of storage right out of the box. This is a huge shift in Apple's strategy. Because of this change in the laptop lineup, we can confidently expect the exact same upgrade for both the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio. You will not have to survive on a tiny hard drive anymore. However, this upgrade comes with a catch. Apple has slightly raised the base prices of these computers. You are getting much better specs right out of the box, but you're going to pay a little bit more upfront for that convenience. Next, we have to look at the sheer power of the new M5 chip. Apple has done something incredible here. They have placed neural accelerators on every single CPU core. This is not just a minor tweak. This design choice is expected to give these machines 4 times the AI performance of previous generations. We will definitely see this power in the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio. This is a game changer for anyone running large language models, or LLMs, directly on their computers. Imagine running a highly intelligent AI assistant locally on your machine without needing an internet connection. The M5 makes this smooth and fast. On top of that, the M5 series features significantly higher memory bandwidth. This means your computer can access its memory much faster, making everything from video editing to heavy multitasking feel incredibly snappy. Then there is the wireless connectivity. It is safe to say Apple will use their brand new N1 wireless chip inside both the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio. This chip is a massive leap forward. It raises the Bluetooth standard from Bluetooth 5 all the way up to Bluetooth 6. This means less lag for your wireless headphones, keyboards, and mice. Both desktops should also fully support Wi-Fi 7. If you have a compatible router, Wi-Fi 7 provides insanely fast internet bandwidth. It also offers much better and more reliable connections, especially in crowded areas with lots of different access points. Now that we know the features they will share, let us break down the M5 Mac Mini specifically. I fully expect the base model of this computer to start with a 512 gigabyte solid-state drive. Currently, the older M4 Mac Mini starts at about $600. Because of the storage bump, I am guessing Apple will charge an extra $100. This means the 512 gigabyte version of the M5 Mac Mini will likely cost about $700. Surprisingly, this will actually be cheaper than buying an M4 Mac Mini and paying to upgrade its storage to 512 gigabytes. However, I do think the base Mac Mini will still start with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Apple kept the base M5 MacBook Air at 16 gigabytes, so it makes sense they will do the same here. Things get really interesting when we look at the M5 Pro Mac Mini. I expect a much bigger gap between the standard Mini and the Pro Mini this year. The M5 Pro chip laptops now start with a 1 terabyte SSD. This will push the starting price of the Pro Mini up. My best guess is that the M5 Pro Mac Mini will start at about $1,500. There's a small chance Apple might price it at $1,400 just to keep a clear price difference between the high-end Mac Mini and the entry-level Mac Studio. Another big detail is the ports. The standard M5 MacBook Air and Pro still use Thunderbolt 4 ports. You only get the blazing fast Thunderbolt 5 ports if you upgrade to the M5 Pro or M5 Max chips. I expect this exact same RU. To apply to the Mac Mini. If you want Thunderbolt 5 for your ultra-fast external drives and high-end displays, you will have to pay for the Pro version of the Mac Mini. Now, let us talk about the heavy hitters, the M5 Max and the M5 Ultra Max Studio. The biggest news here is that Apple is almost certainly going to completely skip the M4 Ultra chip. Why? Because they have fundamentally changed the manufacturing process of how they fuse chips together to create these massive Max and Ultra processors. The old process used for the M4 simply is not compatible with what they want to achieve now. They are starting fresh with the M5 architecture. Because of the severe RAM and SSD constraints the tech industry is facing in 2026, I expect the Mac Studio lineup to be simplified. Since the M5 Max MacBook Pro started with a massive 2TB SSD, I strongly believe the M5 Mac Studio will also start with a 2TB SSD as its absolute baseline. To do this, they will have to raise the base price. Previously, the Mac Studio started at $2,000 with a 512GB drive. I am anticipating the new M5 Mac Studio with a 2TB drive will start at about $2,200. This actually sounds crazy because normally, upgrading a Mac to 2TB costs a fortune. But here's why this is the most exciting part of the entire lineup. This pricing makes the M5 Mac Studio an absolute bargain. Think about it. To get the exact same M5 Max chip inside a MacBook Pro, you're spending $3,700. I expect the Mac Studio with the same power to cost only $2,200. You are saving $1,500 just by choosing the desktop over the laptop. You could easily take that $1,500 savings and buy a beautiful Apple Studio display to get tons of screen real estate. Plus, a desktop computer has much better cooling than a thin laptop. This means the Mac Studio will suffer from way less thermal throttling. You can push it harder for longer without the computer slowing down to cool off. However, there is one major disappointment. I strongly suspect the M5 Mac Studio will still start with only 36GB of memory. Apple did this with the M5 Max MacBook Pro, and they will likely carry it over to the desktop. I think this is a huge mistake. For high-end desktop computers, it would make much more sense for the Max chips to start with at least 48GB of RAM. If you're spending thousands of dollars on a professional desktop computer with an amazing chip, 36GB feels just a little bit too low for a stock configuration. To me, that is the single biggest letdown of the upcoming M5 Max lineup. They should absolutely start with more memory. My final opinion looking closely at these predicted specs. My opinion is that the M5 Max Studio is going to be the absolute sweet spot for professional users. The value proposition of getting top-tier M5 Max performance for $2,200, free from the thermal constraints of a laptop chassis, is unbeatable. While the 36GB RAM baseline is slightly annoying, the massive upgrades to base storage, the inclusion of Wi-Fi 7, and those incredible AI-focused neural accelerators make these desktops future-proof powerhouses. If you work at a desk and don't strictly need portability, skipping the M5 laptops and waiting for this Mac Studio is the smartest tech decision you can make this year. And if you like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any upcoming Mac content.